The great thing about working on the Ozone that is occasionally you get to taste the rock and roll lifestyle that a pop star lives. For example, stretch limos. But tonight I'm getting ready for a hot date with Kylie Minogue. There's going to be lots of oohs, lots of ahs, because we're going to see the Christmas lights at Oxford Street. Your carriage away.
Oh, thank you.
Better than a Skoda. I could quite get used to this travelling in a limousine, Kylie. Is this your normal mode of transport?
But you're always travelling.
Well, no, not always. Yeah. Maybe my time will come.
Very cozy, isn't it?
It is,
It's the perfect way to get life.
Now, do they do things like this in Australia?
They do, but I don't think it's on such a grand scale.
Yeah. It's getting a bit late. Have you got a friend who lives local where we could pop in, you know, for a coffee, have a chat there?
Yeah, I think if we just carry on and I shall tell the driver where to go.
Oh, you do that. Celebration was a hit Queen Day 12 years ago. Why did you decide to cover that single?
I guess it was my last chance to. Actually, because Locomotion was my first single, the obvious question at that time that I was being asked was, oh, so, well, that's a cover. Are there any other songs you'd like to cover? And even, what's that, 5 years ago, I was saying, well, I really like Celebration.
Have you got any ideas of any other singles you might want to cover?
The songs that I love, I mean, I used to always say two of my favourite songs were Celebration and Sexual Healing by Marvin Gaye. And I wouldn't dare touch Sexual Healing. It's just too perfect the way it is.
Now, I've heard a rumour that there may well be a Kylie Minogue book coming out. Now, anything close to the Madonna book?
And we just believe all that stuff.
I was saying from behind, so I didn't get the fun. It's true. Everybody told me that you were built and stacked from the front to the back.
Yeah.
And that your rear end was shaped like the bumper of a Cadillac.
Oh!
I didn't believe him at first. But baby, you're so
Really?
sexy. I want to take you out and buy you a Pepsi. Can I do that, baby?
Tonight?
Well, whenever you're available. I'd love to
Tonight's
take
my
you.
only night.
Tonight's your only night?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what
This
time is it?
afternoon?
Yeah. Well,
What time? What
it really
about?
depends on how things go. Hopefully, you know, you become home, you know.
What about now? We could just grab a
Alright.
Pepsi or
Well, you can go to my hotel room. I got some champagne. I think you're too sexy
We'll,
for a Pepsi.
yeah, all right.
I'm sharing the bed, again, with our favourite girl in the whole world. Pop's answer to Grace Kelly. It's Kylie Minogue. Now, how are you, Kylie?
Great, thank you.
Did you have any New Year's resolutions?
I always have New Year's resolutions,
Like what?
which, you know, to be good, to be kind, to be generous, to be on time, to, things like that, be prompt. Change my terrible ways and habits, but that lasts probably a few days.
Were you a teenage rebel?
When I was about 14, 15, a little bit, yeah. I think I always wanted to be more than I was. I kind of pretended to be tough and be in with the gang and all of that, but really I was a bit nervous about getting caught. Really thought I should be good.
Now, there's always been lots of rumours about you taking loads of drugs.
Oh yeah, having my stomach pumped and, you know, my friends of my friends say, but we met the nurse that was there. We know.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I wasn't in the country. I was in another country.
They were
Yeah,
the nurse that was there, pumping your stomach.
Yeah, we sold a story, in fact. Yeah, there's lots of stories, and, I mean, whenever I'm asked about drugs, I would prefer to avoid the subject completely.
Do you think that's because it's a danger to make them sound like they were fun?
It's dangerous because you can't please everyone. I mean, obviously drugs are not good, they're bad, but, I mean, if I'm being interviewed, I prefer to talk about, this is a roundabout way of saying it, but I prefer to talk about more positive things. I think the good thing about talking about drugs, the only good thing is that it makes children more aware, and let's face it, they're more aware than they've ever been about the dangers of drugs, and, you know, then that leads into AIDS awareness and all of that type of thing.
Now, who do you think think your audience is now? Because do you think it's growing up as your career has progressed? Or do you think you now have a
Definitely.
completely different audience than you had
No,
5 years
it's not
ago?
completely different. The way, I mean, it's hard to know who the audience because you never really see them. Just the records go out of the stores. So the best way for me to judge is with my concerts. And years ago, it was like a sea of 5-year-olds. Maybe their parents brought them along or were waiting outside in the car to pick them up. And in the last couple of years, it's been more teenagers and adults. And
Did it bug you when it was all kids?
not really, no. In fact, the last tour I did, I was really pleased to see some kids up the front. It's nice. I mean, I love kids anyway. It's nice to have the mixture.
Well, Fifi went to one of your concerts when she was 5, yes. She had a Kylie Rara skirt, which you probably obliterated the memory of Fifi and her Kylie Rara skirt. Now, in the
No, I don't
future,
think they're special. I mean, that's really nice.
in the future, what do you think you'll do? Do you think you'll do another film? There was quite a fuss about The Delinquents, wasn't there?
Yeah. I'm a little embarrassed that it's been so long since I've
You've
done
been
film.
busy. It's not like you've been lying around.
I have been doing things, yes. But I'd love to do another film. And I just hope I haven't forgotten what to do.
It's like riding a bike, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But do you have to go to America, do you think, in order
I
to
think
be
so,
there?
yeah.
and
There's
just
not really
stay
much
put?
happening in England or Australia in the film industries. And I've done the LA bit before, and I don't really like it because you have to go meet all the head honchos, and their world is so secluded. It's, you know, from that block to that block of Hollywood, and they don't know what's going on in the rest of the world, i.e. they don't know I have a career outside of Hollywood.
That's a bit awful, though, when you have to go and sort of blow your own trumpet, but you're famous somewhere else.
I'm not very good at it. I, in fact, don't say it. I just end up being quiet in the corner. You know, they're like, hey, how you doing? You know, you like golf? I love golf. And start talking about golf.
Oh, it sounds awful. And then
can
they
be
want you to
quite
have
hideous.
a jacuzzi with them.
Fortunately, no one's asked me to have a
They
jacuzzi
will.
with
They
them.
will. I know that's all part of the contract system.
No.
Oh, God, it's made me feel quite awful, the thought of it. On this note, we better break off before we get any further into the depths of depravity. It's our daily moment of real romance, and it's Cupid's Arrow. Very sweet and romantic. Now, we were just talking about The Delinquents. You had to take your clothes off. Is that sort
I
of
did it very
awful?
quickly.
With everyone with their eyes shut.
No, they were sent out of the room.
Was that awful?
Not
Or
really.
are you
I
very
mean,
uninhibited?
no, I didn't take all my clothes off anyway. I took my top off. And in the actual film, if you blinked very quickly, you would miss it.
Is it true you had an affair with Prince?
Oh, no, I didn't have
Now,
an
I know Molly
affair
Meldrum
with
very
him.
well.
Oh, no. Well, you know, Molly Meldrum has a big mouth.
And he did lead me to believe that there could have been real, true, heart-stopping romance there.
Well, let's just say I met Prince a few times when he was here, and love this.
That's my meaningful.
Yeah,
You can relax with me face.
Yeah, great. Look into my eyes. Pretend there's a complete crew around us. No, Prince has been
Did you
an
snog
idol
him?
of mine. No.
Oh, come on.
No, it's true.
Dearie me. Not even a little bit.
Try another angle.
Yeah, I
Try
can't
that
think of
way.
another one. Good. I feel a bit tired and it's early and I'm trying to think, how could I word that more sensitively? Do you think you'll be working with him then?
That's taken a step backwards. I don't know, maybe. I hope so, yeah.
I'm very
disappointed.
sad. I'm very sad that you won't tell me more because you've actually kissed some of all the men that I really want to kiss. you've kissed. So I actually was planning to just switch off the lights and tell the cameras to go out.
Really?
Yeah, and we could just discuss it
Yeah.
alone, seeing you're not going to discuss it on camera. Do you have a boyfriend at the moment?
No,
No.
no.
So you're available, sort of, for bar mitzvahs
Sorry.
and weddings.
Not that available.
Would you like a boyfriend? Or do
I
you
like
think it
having, I
interferes
like
with
being
things?
in a relationship, yeah. It definitely interferes with things. I can't concentrate on my work very well, which is quite annoying for my manager and people like that.
And when you're in love, do you just tell them to cancel everything so you can go off and be romantic?
I normally end up cancelling everything.
What's the most romantic thing that's happened to you?
I did have a very romantic, like 2-week trip through Italy and going on the Orient Express and all of that.
That must be gorgeous. That must be so nice. It's been so lovely to talk to you as usual, even though you wouldn't tell me anything. Yeah, we didn't get any filth, which I was rather hoping. Sorry. Rather hoping to know which was the biggest bit of Prince. Now, our question is, what happens next? But don't phone.
Is it just fun?
You're a terrible fibber, Kylie, I bet.
The nominees for the Best International Solo Artist are Curtis Stigers, Enya, K.D. Lang, Madonna, Prince, and Tori Amos. The winner is Prince.
And here to receive the award is someone who's flown in specially to share herself. Yes, share herself.
I've actually never met Prince, but I'm a really big, I'm a major fan of his, and more importantly than that, you know, he does what he does because of his love for his work. I also can understand that I do the same thing. I don't do it as well in this particular field. I'm over what I would say, but they just handed me this, and it makes a lot of sense. And it said, Cher, please read this. This is what he wants you to say. And it says, thank you. And then it says, P.S. In all of my trips abroad, I can honestly say I've never felt very far away from home. As long as I live and there is an appreciation for what I do, I will continue to do my best. Peace and new power, Prince.
Thank you, Cher. Thank you, Kylie.